What is up, guys? I'm Alex, and this is Mana Spike Gaming, where we explore the competitive play-to-win aspect of Magic the Gathering on Arena. So today's an awesome day. This is the first time we have some top 8 results back from a major tournament. Star City Games had an open today, and the meta was very interesting. There were five copies of Mono Red in the top 32, 0 copies of Wilderness Reclamation in the top 32, and a single Gates deck in the top 32. The top 8, you can have a look at it. I'll link it below. Pretty straightforward. Nothing too exciting. We saw 2 Esper Control, an Esper mid-range, and let me pull it up real quick. Sorry for the delay, guys. And then we had Bant mid-range, Sultai mid-range, Azorious Aggro, Is It Drakes, and another Sultai mid-range. So I'm going to come back and explore all of these decks, hopefully, eventually. But right now, the one that caught my eye was Azorious Aggro. This deck is not control in the least bit. So this deck is from Max Magnuson. I'm going to try to find his Twitch, his Twitter, his Facebook, whatever, and give him a shout out. He played this to the top 8 in the tournament today. It's basically just mono white splashing Deputy of Detention, which is fine. I mean, mono white was a really good deck in the last standard format and was really, really good for climbing the meta. And I think Deputy of Detention just bumps it up one more notch. So we're gonna go ahead and run through the list for those of you who aren't familiar. This is called White Weenies normally, and so White Weenies, the goal of that deck is to go as wide as possible and put a bunch of dudes on the board and then play an anthem effect. An anthem effect is an effect that gives all of your creatures, or all of a certain type of creature, +1/+1. So because you're playing so many creatures, you get a lot of value out of that anthem. So we're gonna run a lot of 1-drops because we want to play a 1-drop, 2-drop, 3-drop, or a 1-drop, 1-drop, 1-drop. We want to curve every game, so 1-drops are what this whole deck is built around. So Dauntless Bodyguard, it's a 2/1, which is a great value for 1. Its effect is relevant. We can use it to protect a Benalish Marshal. We can use it to protect a Deputy of Detention, a Venerated Loxodon, and it also gets buffs from History of Benalia. So if you go like Dauntless Bodyguard, and then 2 creatures on 2, and then History of Benalia on 3, you're just going to hit like a truck when History of Benalia gets to Chapter 3. A Healer's Hawk, just kind of a filler. It's evasive and the life gain can be relevant. I could see running Rustwing Falcon here to play around Chain Whirler, but Chain Whirler isn't really seeing all that much play. Hunted Witness, that 2-for-1 body is really valuable, and this deck needs its creatures to stick, so sticky creatures are really valuable. Snubhorn Sentry, it's another 1-drop, and triggering the City's Blessing is really easy for us to do. So this guy is just excellent. Legion's Landing, this is one of our outs against control because they have to spend an answer every turn answering the land or the dude we make off this land, and it also helps us when we miss our land drops. This card's just super valuable. Tithe Taker, this card is excellent. Like, man, this is a really great addition. I'd say, I don't know if it's as good or better than Deputy of Detention, but it's really good. So you know how I mentioned we really like sticky creatures. This card has Afterlife, which makes it a little stickier because we just want creatures on the board getting buffed and getting damage in. But his rules text is really great. I mean, this means that our opponent can't play Settle the Wreckage until turn 5. And it just, man, it does a lot. These tax effects are very valuable in a White Weenies deck like this, especially in formats like eternal formats like Modern, Legacy. White Weenie decks in there generally always play as many of these tax effects as they can. Benalish Marshal makes the team big. The triple white doesn't matter because all of our lands produce planes, so excellent. Deputy of Detention, this is the new, this is the sauce. This card is Conclave Tribunal on a stick, and it's just great. We want as many bodies as we can get, and this card just does it. Unbreakable Formation, that is tech to play around Deafening Clarion and Kaya's Wrath or any other sweepers that might cause a hard time for us. So we're only running one, and worst case scenario, you just main phase it and you get an Anthem, and that's okay. That's why we're only running one of them. History of Benalia, this card's just bonkers good. Love it. If you can afford to pay the white, you run this in like so many decks. Single copy of Conclave Tribunal, just because the effect off Deputy of Detention is that valuable. We want a fifth copy of it. Venerated Lox, this card can result in some really broken plays where you go like turn 1, 1 drop, then 2 more 1 drops on turn 2, and on turn 3 you pump all of them plus whatever else you had in your hand. And you get a 4/4 body. It just makes your swing in on turn 3 just brutal. So that's the deck. Again, our game plan with this deck is to flood the board and then play an Anthem effect in Venerated Loxodon or Benalish Marshal, and then remove their threats with Conclave Tribunal and Deputy of Detention and just get in there. So let's go ahead and jump on the ladder. You guys can see I've got a lot of decks I'm playing with right now. We got a lot of cool things to try out. The meta's in a really good place. I mean, the meta's always in a good place when a new set comes out. So it's just Standard's really fun to play when it's new. Yeah, this is keepable. So we really want to hit a land. We've got 3 draws to hit a land, and we are really happy. Glad he bottomed that. Okay, we're going to play the Hunted Witness first, because we can trade into that. We really want to draw a land. We're going to shock ourselves to play both of these Snubhorn Sentries. Okay. He's not going to attack, because he just wants to trigger the City's Blessing. That was really good. Really good. I'm gonna play both of these. That'll slow the bleeding down a little bit. I'm not gonna attack. No reason to attack, because we want his blocks to be unprofitable. He might play Benalish Marshal here, and we're sad, but he did not. So I think we're just gonna play the History of Benalia. We could you know, take something with Deputy of Detention, but I think it's going to get closer to triggering the City's Blessing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, we're going to trigger City's Blessing unless you remove some stuff. Okay, we're going to steal that with Deputy of Detention. That's going to feel nice. No reason to pay the life. These guys are big and scary now. Let's go ahead and Deputy now. Steal that Vanguard. And he scooped. Oof. Alright. So in the past, we splashed red for heroic reinforcements in this deck, but with Deputy of Detention, we've got a lot of incentive to splash blue. That card is just a catch-all that can deal with a lot of problems. We're going first here. This hand is really good if we draw a land, but we don't run that many lands. I think we're going to send it back. This hand's better. 3 tap lands is actually pretty gross, actually, but them's the break sometimes. We'll play Healer's Hawk first. Yeah, basically being a turn behind because we drew 3 tap lands sucks, but them's the breaks. I think Tithe Taker is more valuable than Bodyguard. I'm not gonna block that. Okay. History feels like the best play here. Or we could play 2 copies of Dauntless Bodyguard, but I'd rather play History now and then play both of these after. We could also swing and trigger Unbreakable Formation to trade with that, but that doesn't seem like very much value. So we're gonna go History, and we'll swing with the Healer's Hawk. I might actually even swing with this. I'm not going to, because I want to make Conclave Tribunal be a little more painful for him to cast. What's he thinking about here? Okay. That's bad for us. That's really bad for us. I think his deck just went off more than ours did. So yeah. So we want to play this Unbreakable Formation, but we also just want to play. So I feel like he's going to swing with everything. So 8, 12, 15. He has exact lethal. We can block 1 and then we can crack back. I think we just want to pass and then give our stuff indestructible. Or do we just play all 3 of these creatures? That'll be 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I'm just gonna play all of our stuff. Twelve, 18, 21, 27. We're gonna have to do more blocking than I realized. That's 9, 14 damage. Yeah, we're okay with this. Can we lose if he pumps? He does Pride of Conquerors. We lose. 11, 14. Yes, we got to block 1 more. That way we don't die to Pride of Conquerors. I should have left a Knight alive because it's going to get pumped. So this will pump our team. Okay. It gives him another blocker. I'd like to cast that. So we're attacking with 22. He's going to block at least 4 of this. He needs to block 1 more. Okay. Can I afford to Lox? 8, 12, 15. No, I'd have to tap everything to Lox, so I can't do that. It's making so many dudes. Yeah, we needed our Marshal and our second copy of History of Benalia. I don't think we can win. Okay, you got 3 copies of History. You just lose those games, and that's okay. Yeah, we lost. I mean, I'll see what we draw, but I think it's irrelevant. Yeah. Can't win that one. Alright, I did that earlier today where I muted my mic and then I recorded like another hour of streaming and had no audio. Hitting those wild cards pretty hard. That's a good pickup. Honestly, we have loads of mythic rares. I've never had a problem with mythic rare cards. It's just always the rare cards, mainly for the lands. But the cool thing I'm happy with is we want to see lands. That's all right. You guys don't care. I've got every land in the game now, so happy about that. So we can build pretty much anything. I'm missing maybe another 7 wild cards I want for a couple of other decks, but I've got plenty to explore for now. This hand is not very good. We're gonna have to send it back. Playing this on 2 and then hoping we get a 3-drop is just not good enough. This hand is not good either, but we're gonna keep it. So good at this game. I'm gonna play the Legion's Landing because we don't want that to get hit with a Thought Erasure. He's not gonna like this Tithe Taker either. Okay. No reason to shock, and no reason to reveal that we're on blue. So these effects do stack, which means if he wants to play like a Settle the Wreckage, he's gonna have to pay 5 mana, which is great for us. Okay, that's fine. Do we want a Deputy of Detention as search? Or do we want to save that for Teferi? I think we just want to make the spells really expensive. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7, 8. Yeah, we can Deputy of Detention as search next. He's got plenty of land, so he's just looking for action. He's not going to be able to cast a Wrath anytime soon because it costs 6. Wait, oh, it's only on my turn. Yikes. At least we got the Afterlife tokens. We played into that a little bit, to say the least. That's okay. That's a good draw. So we can do this. Honestly, pumping our team isn't that valuable, but I think we're going to do that. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7, 8. We draw a land, we can ascend. But I think we're just going to die right here. Didn't have another sweeper, so that's good. No reason to play around Settle. If he has it, he has it. I don't think I want to play this Deputy of Detention. Like, I want to have something to do if he sweeps here. I mean, maybe that would have forced him into drawing that land, because that could have been the card that was the sweeper. Alright, we win. I really didn't play around that Ritualist at all, but honestly, I feel like you can't play scared with this deck, because it can't go long, like you'll just lose. I do think I probably, if he'd had the sweeper, he would have played it, so he was in top deck mode, and playing the Deputy of Detention makes his top decks worse. So I should have played it. This hand is gas. I'm gonna lead with the Hunted Witness first. Actually, we're just gonna lead with Dauntless Bodyguard. His effect is not all that important when you don't have anything to protect with it. I'd rather play it early and get the damage in with it, because this is evasive, so we don't want to play it early. And let's go Dauntless Bodyguard and then Hunted Witness. Wild Growth Walker is super bad for us. That was the worst card we could have seen. Oof, owie. So the good news is we get to make a big Lox here. So land into Unbreakable Formation would be ideal. We don't want him getting... That's fine. Anything that's not an Explorer is good for us. Alright, so he's on Bant Pod. Land. Not a land. Still pretty good though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No reason to attack with this until we get Unbreakable Formation. I'm gonna play Tithe Taker just to use our mana efficiently. Oh, that's painful. Maybe I should have attacked. Just, I mean, he'll block with Wild Growth Walkers. It's kind of irrelevant. There we go. Main phase this for the addendum. Doing gross things. Oh, they get vigilance too? Oh man, be able to cast that and then Lox. Disgusting. This deck does some gross things, like some really gross things. 167, back in the 100s, that's nice. I'll take a break for just a second, guys. Alright, let's see if we can get another game in with this. This deck is sweet. Thank you again to Max Magnuson for showing the world what it was about. Actually, he got third with this deck, which is pretty legit. Bant mid-range and Sultai mid-range. Looks like they drew, which I don't blame him at all. A lot of people have they hate draws, but it's just a common thing in Magic. This hand is gas. Woo! Woo, this hand is gas. I like it. Man, this hand is super good. Unless he plays Chain Whirler. Oh no. If we get Chain Whirlered, we lose, but hopefully he's just on the burn plan. Okay. That's not good. No reason to play around it. If he's got it, he's got it, and we lose. Yeah, if he's got it, we scoop. Well, them's the breaks. Yeah, we're gonna scoop. Gonna scoop. Yeah. I think the play into Venerated Loxodon was so good, it was worth taking that risk. I could have made it a little less risky by playing the Snubhorn Sentry, so I didn't get 3 for 1 by the Chain Whirler, but I wanted to give +1/+1 to a lifelink token, so we went with that. Win some, you lose some, and we lost that one. If these weren't tap lands, this would be awesome. Is it still okay? I don't feel like I can be that far behind. This is fine. That's great. No reason to play the Snubhorn. He's not going to get turned on for quite some time. Mirror match. Got a blocker for that Hunted Witness, which is nice. We're going to go wider than him with these histories, so I feel pretty good about our chances. We need to see an Anthem, and we don't want him to get Deputy of Detention. But no reason to swing. We want to trigger City's Blessing 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's bad for us. Let's swing them both. Nope, no reason for him to. I might should have swung there. I actually kind of like having it as a blocker. Okay. No blocks. And we get to crack back way bigger, so that's okay. So that's lethal. 26, so he's got to block at least 3 of it. So he's probably going to throw a Hunted Witness in front of... What are these token? What's this +1/+1 counter? Where did he get a +1/+1 counter? Oh, they're counters. It's not an Anthem effect. That's neat. Should have read that card a little closer. Yeah, even if he has another Unbreakable Formation here, it's irrelevant. It's not irrelevant, we have to block. So let's block with... This is going to block one of the 3/3s. And then he still has 9, 12 coming in, so I need to block somewhere else. It's going to be with one of these. We'll just stop 5 here. I should have played that first because of the Unbreakable Formation. Ended up not mattering, but these knights are going to be gigantic. That doesn't help any. He gained a lot of life. Yeah. No reason to attack with this. The Marshal will just eat it. We'll save this back to block the Marshal or the Vanguard. And he gains so much life. I might want another copy of Unbreakable Formation. I didn't realize that. I thought it was just a 1-turn, or I thought it was just an Anthem effect for the turn. I didn't realize there were counters. That's relevant. I think I'd rather have that than the Healer Hawk. And so he blocks there and then triggers and pays the 4 life. We trade there. He goes to 31. Yeah, I don't think he wants to block anything. I think he just let it all through, honestly. Because that lifelink is just too important. Yep. No Anthem. That's bad too. Better than an Anthem though. I'd like to draw our Deputy of Detention. That'd be nice to get rid of this Marshal. Make the game a lot nicer for us. He should swing with the Vanguard. Have to block it. I'm just gonna block it with a 1/1 lifelinker. Do I want to block with both of these just to force him to pay the life? I think I do. This 2/2 isn't doing much anyways. That doesn't help very much. Yeah, we need to draw something big. And it needs to be, we need to draw our Marshal. Or we need to draw our Deputy. Or, those are the two cards we gotta draw to really get out of this. Because oh no, so let's go to Maker Dude. So let's go here. Let's go here. He's got the Pride of Conquerors. He's got the Pride of Conquerors, and we lose. Them's the blocks. These lands aren't helping. Yeah, I think that's game. That's game. I had to block the Marshal and I didn't. Only have 3 blockers. Yeah, it's not game, but it might as well be. Not sure why he's thinking so long. Yeah, it's game. Nothing we can draw gets us out of this, so. Oh man. This 100 Witnesses won the game for him. Like, he gained, I just wasn't paying attention to how much life he was gaining off those. That was really relevant. Like, man, he gained a load of life off those 2 or 3 tokens. Oh, I meant to swap in another copy of Unbreakable Formation. Yeah, I definitely want another copy of that. This is fine. Yeah. Draw another 1-drop or another land. Or even a 2-drop and we're happy. Really we want to draw a 1-drop or a land so we can go Healer's Hawk or Bodyguard, Healer's Hawk, 1-drop, and turn 3 play a big Lox. No combo, good. So now we get to play both of these on 2, and on 3 we get to play a big Lox. So that's cool. Amara. That's better. I'm okay with that. If we draw a land, that's fine. So land or not, we get to Lox. It's a bit of a problem. If we draw a land, we might actually steal that. Yeah, I think stealing that is more valuable than making a bunch of stuff. Be big. No reason to lose one of these. So we actually get to play Marshal and then Lox, which is cool. As long as all of these live. Okay. This board's going to be gigantic. It's kind of a risk to play this because of Conclave Tribunal. So I think it's actually, but he wants to Conclave Tribunal this as well. I think the safe play is to play Dauntless Bodyguard and then Lox. But I'm just going to do this. So like, I mean, this might eat a Conclave Tribunal and I'll be sad, but worse things have happened. I don't think I'm really going to go real big with this Lox. Oof. I can't afford to, man. Why would he swing with that? So you got a trick? No, he just made a mistake. Cool. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's so good. So I can play this for free because of this. Let's go here. Let's protect this. Not gonna swing with this, and this can't swing. Do I just Lox again? Or I swing for 8, 12, 16, 20. Yeah, I just swing for 20 and win. There's no reason to Lox again. That'd be silly. But he scooped anyways because that game was over. Oh, sorry guys, my mouse just died. Go to appear. Give me just a moment to hook it up. Alright guys, we're back. I had a little technical mishap with the mouse there. Wireless battery always manages to die at some of the worst times. Luckily it let me finish the match before it died, so I've got that going for us. This deck felt really sweet. I want to say congrats again to Max Magnuson for making top 8 with it. I mean, 3rd place in a Star City Open event is no joke. This deck is the real deal. It's very similar to what we played last season. I played at least 100 games with this deck getting to Mythic, and it performed well there, and I think it's going to perform really well here. Deputy of Detention is just an awesome inclusion. Being able to have Conclave Tribunal on a stick and that big body on it is just relevant. I really like this deck. Tithe Taker didn't feel as impressive as I thought it would, but it still felt great. I mean, the card's amazing. We're not seeing as much Settle the Wreckage, so it's getting a little less equity. I like that it shuts down some counter spells and it shuts down Chemister's Insight and a few other things. So it's definitely going to stay in the deck. It just didn't feel quite as broken as I thought it would. The Afterlife's great too. That card's just great. So anyways, thanks again for watching, guys. I had a great time playing this list, and let me know in the comments below what tweaks you would make and how this deck's been working out for you on the ladder. Take care, guys.